Hi everyone, I am Bethany Scott and I am joining you live. Just checking all of my things to make sure everything is up and running. And we already have a question that came through, so yay for questions. The question is from Carlos. It is, how do you remove the sticky residue from the pixie spray from your stencils? That is a very excellent question. Let me grab it. I use hand sanitizer. That's the best way to remove anything sticky. I work a lot with resins and glues and children who get into all of the wrong things. So this takes off things even like inks that get in the wrong places. Occasionally, like some of my stamps will not remove ink from them, and hand sanitizer. That's my Windex, if anyone knows that reference, for fixing all the things. The question is, how did I get started crafting? Oh gosh, that's a really tough. There's a journey. I have been crafting since as long as I can remember. I would say that I first really got into scrapbooking first. I started scrapbooking when I was a teenager, ages ago, and I, alongside that, also love doing videos, video production. I have advertisements that have been on ESPN and ABC. I've worked simultaneously with the crafting, with the multimedia, so it's only natural that I am on, platforms like this where I'm teaching what I love to do. But scrapbooking first, then in high school I started crocheting. In college I started knitting, and in college I had a theater and photography degree, but that just meant I was in the arts building all the time, and so I was completely surrounded by arts and crafts and all that. And then in the last 5 years, I was turned on by my aunt, who is also a YouTuber, to not just doing scrapbooking, but also doing card making. And that came along with stamping. And so it just kind of spiraled from there, where, I now do a lot of sublimation crafting. I do faux leather. I run a small business. You see all these machines surrounding me. There's a sewing machine right here. That's my mom's, but we actually run a full-scale business in here, plus our garage, which is a 3.5-car garage with a full kitchen, that we use that kitchen to create and make things, custom design things. So a lot of what we do, me and my mom, kind of spills over into what I teach on my YouTube channel, which, if you see down below, is it's not down below anymore, just kidding. But it is at BB Productions with an S Studio. That's on YouTube, and you can catch all of the different things that I do on that channel. So I hope, do I incorporate card making with resin? I have not, although I'm staring at some resin that got on my my glass mat right here. I was thinking this morning, like, I wonder if I did do any resin. There are people that preserve a lot of their unique products that they've made, or like flowers. So I'm sure there's a way to preserve like a valuable card into a resin, frame or something like that. That I have not done personally, but I definitely feel like that would be something that would be fun to explore. So this is my card, and on here you can see that my Summit freebie is a set of 4 of these mugs. They are printables. They are, if you have a toner printer, that is what is preferred to print them on, so you can foil them. But if you don't have a toner printer, you just have an inkjet printer, another idea is to print those pages out and color them yourself. And you can even use a metallic marker like I used to fix my mistake in my video. You can use that just to color right over the black lines too. There's all different ways you can use that freebie. So even if you don't have a toner printer or you don't want to go to your print shop and print on a toner paper, that would be definitely something that, you know, just use it as you want and enjoy it. Any more questions? Okay, regarding the presentation, how do you keep the foil from crimping? Ooh, so crimping, in my experience, is from too high of heat. So the crimping, it like, it's like being in a pool and you get wrinkly. That's kind of a similar concept. There's too much moisture, too much heat. One thing I've heard, and I can't, this is an experimentation thing, but one thing I've heard is that if you use parchment paper and you want to make sure all the static is out, so using like any anti-static tools, but also using a heat tool around it to release the moisture. I know it works when you're doing HTV and on cotton, but I do not know how it applies to cardstock or the foiling. The silicone carrier sheet may be, depending on what machine you're using, it might be too, like, spreading the heat too much. I would almost experiment with turning, if you can, turn your heat setting down. But I cannot personally say I've ever used a silicone carrier sheet. I've always used the parchment paper method because it just has always worked for me. Like, very few mistakes or overfoiling. Usually it's just user error whenever I do have those kinds of mistakes. So, and that's the other thing is we definitely, like, it's with foiling, like, I know I shared a lot of techniques, but these aren't the only techniques around. There is a lot you can learn from just experimenting with what you have. I still have, I think, about 6 rolls of foil in my foiling cart. None of the techniques I've used have worked for them. And one theory is that, well, the glue has just left the building. But another theory is that, you know, it's meant to be a rub-on or some kind of other foiling. So you just experiment until you figure out what works, and not every foil is created the same. So I've found other companies that work better for my system and it's just, you know, it's trial and error. You just got to be willing to dive in. It's addictive once you do, to be honest. Like, I could spend days foiling because it's just so much fun. But it's one of those, you just have to be willing to experiment and willing to say, okay, if I mess this one up, I'll try it again or try it different. And I'm not going to cry or be upset because it does happen. Like, stuff is out of your control because it's still a machine. It could sometimes be machine error too. Sometimes machines have hot spots too, where not every portion of your machine has the same heat, equal heat too, especially as machines get older. Val is asking, what is your favorite technique? That's my favorite go-to is going to be heat embossing, just because it's quick, fast, and easy to add pop. But if I were to choose foiling, the Glimmer Machine foiling comes out the best in my mind because like, when you use the Glimmer Machine, they have preset everything as best as possible, and some of these looks just come out so stunning that you're like, wow, I made this. My second favorite foiling technique would be the toner foiling, just because I'm a creative designer. I like to create my own SVGs and PNGs, my own files to be able to create toner foiling looks. If you are part of the All Access Pass, you'll get access to a buttload of toner foiling pages that, you know, like me, I'm like super excited because these are things I created out of my own brain, so to speak, and just it's just fun to do toner foiling in general, even if you get toner foiling from any kind of company that just prints it for you. Yeah, it's so much fun because I just, you know, I love the ability to create a little bit different look. But the stenciling is actually how I got my foiling start. That was the first technique I used, and I was hooked from day one. And, you know, it's one of those, there's different levels of security in doing it, experimenting, obviously. Like, I think I touched base in my video that the first few times I did foiling, the first foiling, great, beautiful. Second two times, they were trash. I had to throw them out because I couldn't even like cut them down and salvage them. It was very sad, but I learned a lot from it, and I kept experimenting and experimenting, and finally I realized, oh, I love this. I don't love this. So, I missed a question. Oh, oh goodness, the comments are flying by. So the question, hi Kristen. She says, have you used the Better Press and or used those plates for foiling? No and no, but that's only because I don't have a Better Press, and I only just recently learned that you can use the Better Press plates for foiling. So I have a stack of my Better Press plates that I've gotten in kits, because I love my kits. And so I do have a stack of Better Press plates. And so what I have aimed to do is to use those and try those. And maybe I'll film it and throw it on my YouTube channel. But someone did comment about my foiling cart. And now that I've made a loud noise, this is my foiling cart, which, let's see it. There's actually layers and levels of foiling here. So all three versions of foiling are on my foiling cart, which it's really fun because sometimes I'm like, ooh, I don't like the foiling plates that I have. So, all right, what can I use? And I have an entire box of toner foil. And I just start experimenting, go on my computer, create the design I'm looking for. Like, say if I didn't have a striped stencil, I would have gone and created that in my computer, then printed it out in black and white on my toner printer, and then just went to town with it. So, you know, there's a lot of different ways to go about doing this. And Margaret says she had no idea there were different types of foil. Yes, there are. The main two are going to be your toner foil and your heat foil or your hot foil. But yeah, there's other foils out there that are, there's foiling meant for strictly for shirts. There's foiling meant for embossing. I know Cricut. I've done it actually a video on my YouTube channel. Cricut has the foiling pen, and that's a completely different technique, and it's just a little bit different, but there's so many different ways you can foil your cards. And yeah, I'm an addict. I'm a foiling addict. Is that okay to say? What do I do with the cards I make? A lot of them I give away. Occasionally I do have a good stock. I have finally have a stock back, but I will occasionally sell them. I do a lot of craft fairs because I make a lot of, you know, all these machines I referred to behind me. I make a lot of things, and so a lot of the things that I create, I sell. So it's only natural to just have a card to go with it. And the platform that I have always used for being a seller is giftables, you know, customizable giftables, or just things that come out of my brain or my mom's brain. And even my daughter's brain. She just turned 6, and she's already last month sold her first batch of stuff, and it's so cute. I love it. My little artist in making. But, you know, there's a lot of things that go great with, hey, here's a card to go with the occasion that you're trying to give this gift for. So it's only natural to just sell the cards too when I have enough. A lot of times I do give them away. So I don't always have a lot of cards hanging around. This is like the 1 month where apparently I made a bunch in the last couple months, but 3 months ago I had like nothing because I had craft fairs and no cards to go with it. So I was like, okay. A question from Kelly. What is your favorite tool in your craft room? I'm going to use the default, which is glue. This is the number one thing my children steal from my crafty space. My kids, like, they're always like trying to create something new. They're 6, almost 5, and almost 4 right now, and they see me on YouTube doing all the things, on Instagram doing all the things, and they want to do it too. So if I turn my back too long, they've created something, and they're very good at it too for their ages. So yes, glue, Barely Art works for my environment. I used to have a different brand that everyone else loves, and I loved it too until it became winter and it stopped working for me. So it didn't work for my environment anymore. Mary says, hi, Mary. What is your favorite thing to make? My most calming thing to make is anything that I can color in. So using the alcohol ink markers. I love to make cards using my alcohol ink markers. If we're talking general crafts, I love making my sublimation tumblers just because it's fun and it comes out of this brainchild here that just unravels, and I sit down and I whip out 20 designs. Oops, knocking over my hand sanitizer. But I whip out like 20 designs in like an hour, and once I get going, it's very difficult to stop. So that's one of those, like, another addictive thing is all the sublimation things. But I don't do it as often. Pam says, how often do you get in your craft room? I'm here daily. I run 4 businesses from my office. My office is my craft room, and my craft room is my office. So I do artwork like this. This is my artwork. You can see that canvas. That is actually my artwork from a photo I took that I made graphic designed into more than just a photo. So I do a lot of that. I sit here and I am actually an accountant. I am a CFO, actually, not just an accountant. I am a CFO for a company. That is my regular daily duties, as well as raising 3 kids, keeping them alive all the time. And I'm here though all the time. Self-made business. I have the crafty business with my mom. I have a teaching platform with my husband. And what's the other business? Oh, I sell Mary Kay. I can remember these things. But yeah, there's just an abundance of what's going on. So I have currently on my YouTube channel, I have my own giveaways beyond what's going on the summit. And if you join my YouTube channel, please do. I would love to have you all. Definitely, I'm celebrating 4 years on YouTube. I'm celebrating in 10 days, I will be 40. So I'm celebrating that. I hit 800 subbies. So I'm celebrating that. There's just a lot of things going on. Oh, thank you, Sherry. Question was, what's the website again? I'm not sure if you're referring to my website or if you're referring to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is at BB Productions with an S Studio. My crafty website is, I will type that one in actually. Oh, I can't put. It's BBS dash BOUTIQUE dot square dot site. There we go. All right, so that is all we have. Please tag me if you have made anything inspired by what I did, whether it's you colored it in or foiled it, whatever you did. Please download the freebie, join my YouTube channel, and come on in and let's do all the crafty things together, because I'm just excited and I have lots and lots to share, and some freebies that are in this purple right here. Lots of freebies to give away too, on my own channel though, beyond the Stamp Me Some Love channel. So thank you all for joining, and bye.
Hey everybody, I see a lot of questions about what's Bethany's website, what's her YouTube channel. It's all available on her presentation page. We've got links, and I double checked all the links for every speaker, so I know they all work. So if you go to whoever's links you're looking for, go to their presentation page, and all those links will be there for you. Okay? So thanks so much for coming. Thanks so much for coming, Bethany, and we'll see you guys all next time.
All right, thank you all. Love you guys. Bye.